Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm the mother and a grandmother.
And I'm Jocelyn. I'm her oldest daughter and also a mommy.
Today we're talking about what I call touch points. Other people may call it modes, channels,
Methods.
or methods. And that is to get higher attendance at your parties or events. When I was in my young 20s, I was not an administrative assistant. I was the Christian education director. And I worked on a staff of all men, with exception of the administrative assistants. And so even though it wasn't my job, they made it become my job, in addition to what I did, to be in charge of events for the church or events for church staff. And there was this publication that came across my desk, and it started coming every month. And in one of the publications, I found so much good information in this publication when it came. And in one of the publications, it told about no event is well advertised until you've used at least 4 different modes or touch points or channels, whatever you want to call it, 4 different ways to advertise your event. And I thought, oh my goodness, but I put it to the test, and immediately attendance jumped up at the events. So I tested it on birthday parties for you girls when I became a mommy of you 3 girls. And then I also tested it on dinner parties. I tested it on baby showers and bridal showers, your wedding, all different, tested it in very many different situations, and it really worked.
The first category would be the active ones, and that would be phone calls, direct text message, and talking to people in person. And then there's also the passive ones, and that would be sending a paper invitation, doing a graphic text or email. There's Facebook invitations, and then there's also just like a regular email. There's
an event that I attended, and the hostesses spent a lot of money on it. They put a lot of care into it. They really worked. But they sent out one mode of communication about the event. They never followed up to see if everyone got their invitation in the mail. They never reached out. They just relied on that the paper invitation said RSVP on it. And it seems like, I don't know if it's just these days or what it is, but sometimes people don't even seem to know what RSVP means. And it means, let us know you're coming or not. And usually you're supposed to respond immediately. And if you're not sure, make sure that you respond as soon as possible. Do not leave that hostess hanging. Enough of that. We covered that in another
video.
That's right. And so this event, they invited, I don't know, let's say 65. I don't know if it was 70. I don't know if it was 60. Let's just say that. I guess that from the number of chairs and tables that were set out, something like that roughly. And only about 20% of the people showed up. And it was primarily relatives and just a couple of friends. And that was really sad to me, because if you're going to put that much work and time into something, and you wanted to show your love through this, that can be a disappointment. So I really strongly encourage 4 different modes, 4 different methods.
So there is a time when using 4 touch points or methods might not work the best, and that's if you only use the 4 passive ones. Sending an email, Facebook invitation, digital invitation, and a paper invitation. None of those has the human element, or the human touch.
And what was the digital again?
Digital invitation, so like a graphic sent through a text.
Or an email.
So
it's got to look like a paper invitation. So if all you do is passive,
you're not getting the human conversation, or over the phone or in person, stuff like that.
And what were the active ones?
The active are a phone call, in-person conversation, and a direct text message.
Now it's time for what we've all been waiting for. It's the 4 modes that do work well together. And number 1 is either a digital invitation or a paper invitation. And that paper invitation can be mailed or it can be handed to someone. Now the digital one, it can either be email or it can be sent text. But that's number one. And then
you send a text to just check in with them about 48 hours later to make sure that they've received it. And if they don't text, then you're going to need to give them a phone call. But just make sure, hey, did you receive this? So
you mean if they're the kind of person that doesn't text, you give them the phone call?
Right.
Okay. And then when it gets closer to the time of your event, about 5 to 7 days before your event, you're going to need to get on the phone with each of your guests and just give them a quick call. Now, this is how we like to do it. We like to call and say, hey, just reminding you, upcoming event, I'm so glad you're coming. Or if they haven't told you yet, do you know if you're going to get to come? I sure hope you do. And I was just calling to check if you had any food sensitivities or allergies or anyone in your family.
that way you know before you go shopping. And then the fourth point would be a reminder 2 to 3 days before. And I usually send a text, if there are people that text, but send a text and include directions to the facility, or if Google Maps takes them exactly where they need to go, I let them know that with the address. But that way they're reminded and they have the address so they can get there easily.
So if you have any questions on those, we hope you'll comment in the comments.
I would be happy to answer you.
That's right.
Follow along for more hospitality from the heart.